Hello and welcome to this short video lesson where by the end of this lesson you will have some practical tips to help you revise for your up and coming DT assessment. So the first thing that we need to understand is how our brain works and why it is important for us to revise in the first place. Well, our brain contains lots of neural connections and these connect when we learn new topics or new knowledge. But just like a forest path, if you don't repeat the route, plants will grow and you'll forget the journey. So if we consider this in terms of knowledge, if we don't practice and try and recall and retrieve our knowledge, we're going to forget this knowledge over time. So what we want to do is to try and interrupt that forgetting curve to ensure that our knowledge stays in our long-term memory, thus meaning that we can retrieve it and use it as and when we need it. So to summarise, we need to treat our brain like any other muscle in the body. That means that we need to exercise our brain regularly and revisit our learning material to ensure that we are able to remember our knowledge and what we need to know for the assessment. So whether you are currently studying the DT product design rotation, the textiles rotation, or the food and nutrition rotation, you will have been provided with a knowledge organiser, and these can be used to tell you the information and the knowledge that you need to know for your up and coming assessment. Not all of the information detailed on the knowledge organiser will be covered in the assessment, but all information could be covered in the assessment. Using your knowledge organisers as a starting point, you will then be able to refer back to your mind map revision technique. You will have learnt about this in Year 7 during your prep sessions. When creating a mind map, it's important to start with a central idea in the middle of the page. Following on from here, you should start with single word branches leading off from that main idea. Again, from here, you should then break down into sub-areas and sub-branches to further build your knowledge of key concepts and revision areas, whether that be materials, food and nutrition, or textiles. It ultimately doesn't matter whether you choose to produce your mind map by hand or on the computer, but what does matter is the way that you lay out your ideas. Another key thing to consider is when producing a mind map, try to include pictures, diagrams and illustrations, as this further enhances your learning by including dual coding. Here are some examples of excellent mind maps from previous years. Another technique that you will be aware of from your Year 8 prep sessions is flashcards. It doesn't matter what you use to create the flashcards, but flashcards are ideal when trying to remember names, descriptions, definitions. You essentially write the name or title on one side and a description or a definition on the other side. Use the look, cover, write, check method to help you remember. The final method that we recommend using for revision here in DT is the BBC Bitesize website. The information contained within the BBC Bitesize website can be found within the GCSE area. Even if you're not currently studying for your GCSEs, if you're Year 7, Year 8 or Year 9, then you will still find this information in the GCSE area. It's broken down by topics and your teachers will tell you which specific topics you should be looking at. If you're looking for product design, you need to be looking at the AQA specification. If you're looking for food preparation and nutrition, you will be looking at the economics section. Either way, your classroom teachers will help you with that and tell you where you need to be looking for the correct information. I hope you find this video helpful. If you have any questions, please speak to your classroom teacher.